Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Colin Watsonville and I have personally helped over 1,000 people with their Medicare coverage. And Medicare is the topic of today's video. Specifically, we're going to be asking and answering the question whether or not Medicare, as well as different types of Medicare plans, will cover pre-existing conditions. Now, the very short and to the point answer to that question is yes. Absolutely, unequivocally, all Medicare plans, Medicare itself, will cover pre-existing conditions day one, no limitations, no exclusions. Now, I personally help a lot of people turning 65 and getting onto Medicare for the first time, and one of the things that they almost without fail always bring up to me as a concern is whether or not when they get onto Medicare, whichever plan they select, they want to make sure that it covers their pre-existing conditions. And I tell them, regardless of the two main routes you can go down with Medicare, either traditional Medicare with a Medicare Supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan, both routes will luckily cover your pre-existing conditions day one. And so that takes out that piece of the puzzle when shopping for a Medicare plan. That decision in and of itself is a very complicated decision already in terms of which type of coverage to get when you get on the Medicare, but rest assured, no matter the option, no matter the route or the avenue that you take, no matter the Medicare plan that you end up enrolling in, your pre-existing conditions will be covered. Now, when it comes to many questions about health insurance or Medicare in general, there are oftentimes a lot of buts or nuances or exceptions to the rule, but rest assured, truthfully, all Medicare plans will cover your pre-existing conditions. However, there are just a couple things that I do want to touch on in the same sphere of this discussion in regards to pre-existing conditions. First off, it's important for me to note that with some Medicare plans, oftentimes specifically Medicare Advantage plans, although they cover your pre-existing conditions, you will, just like most other health insurance plans, typically have to go through prior authorizations for any sort of major services, some scans, more complex surgeries, things like that. So although Medicare Advantage plans do cover your pre-existing conditions, sometimes you'll have an extra hoop to jump through, for lack of better words, that the ever-looming prior authorization involved with most health insurance plans. And let's say you don't have a Medicare Advantage plan, but instead you have traditional Medicare with a Medicare Supplement. Same thing, those plans will all cover your pre-existing conditions. However, the nuance or the caveat there is that if you ever go to switch your Medicare Supplement, let's say you have a Plan G with Company 1, and maybe you want to go to a high deductible Plan G or a Plan N with Company 2. In order to do that, you actually have to pass medical underwriting in most states. Not every state, there's always an exception to the rule, but in most states, if you're trying to switch between one Medicare Supplement company or plan, then you have to pass medical underwriting, and that's where the discussion of pre-existing conditions comes back into play. If you have some severe pre-existing conditions, the new company or plan that you're trying to switch to might not accept you, and you may not be able to switch. So that's not necessarily a problem, because still remember, your current Medicare Supplement plan will continue to cover your pre-existing conditions. Now, it is important to note that this is only true for Medicare Supplements. If you are switching between other types of Medicare products, then there are no underwriting or medical questions, meaning if you are trying to go from one Medicare Advantage plan to a different Medicare Advantage plan, or if you are going from one prescription drug plan to a different prescription drug plan, there is no medical underwriting, no health questions. You can switch to the new plan, no questions asked, and that new plan will be required to cover your pre-existing conditions immediately. And there you have it. The answer to the question, will Medicare cover my pre-existing conditions, is absolutely, yes, they will. If you enjoy content like this, then feel free to hit the like button, maybe subscribe, share with a friend or family member, comment below your thoughts and opinions, or even just follow us on your favorite social media platform. Once again, my name's Colin Watsonville. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.